esteemed heads of delegations, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I welcome you to the gala reception in honor of Victory Day. I am sincerely glad to celebrate this holiday in the circle of friends and reliable partners. It is common knowledge that the peoples of the Soviet Union made the decisive contribution to the defeat of Nazism. At the same time, we never divided this grandiose victory into ours and theirs. And therefore, we honor the contribution of all warriors of the anti-Hitler coalition, participants of the resistance, partisans, and underground fighters. The memory of the Combat Alliance, of the Brotherhood in Arms, we will preserve always. People of different ages and nationalities, men and women, the elderly and the young, were led through trials by faith in the triumph of justice, in the right of peoples to sovereignty and identity, and, of course, love for the fatherland. These feelings even today are for us a spiritual and moral guide. Our peoples are united by a sincere attitude toward our common history, the memory of those who fought for the freedom of their country and all of humanity. Responsibility for the preservation of the truth about the Great Patriotic War, about the Second World War, and for ensuring that future generations firmly know that love for the motherland and the solidarity of peoples in the struggle for peace and equality is a powerful, all-conquering force. It is important to strictly suppress attempts to falsify the events of the Second World War and the glorification of Nazis and collaborators. On their conscience are the unbearable suffering and death of millions of peaceful residents. Our duty is to not allow the justification of the genocide of the citizens of the Soviet Union and other atrocities of Nazi criminals. They were unequivocally condemned by the decisions of the Nuremberg Tribunal and have no statute of limitations. This year marks the 85th anniversary of the day of Nazi Germany's attack on the Soviet Union. In this date is grief for the millions of dead and a reminder of what terrible consequences blind faith in one's superiority, racism, xenophobia, and the denial of the right to identity for other peoples can lead to. I am convinced that the more just multipolar architecture being formed today must rely on the norms of the United Nations Charter in all their totality and fullness, proceed from the principle of equal and indivisible security, and take into account the cultural, civilizational diversity of the peoples of the planet, their right to determine their own destiny, and to follow the traditions and testaments of their ancestors. And they bequeath to all of us to cherish and protect peace. Allow me to propose a toast to the generation of victors, to the triumph of truth and justice, and to the friendship and prosperity of countries and peoples. Happy holiday to you, dear friends. Happy Victory Day.
Thank you.